The Adventures of Nelson and Junior, Life in 2050, by Ethan Mearns in 2022. Once upon a time, in a place called Newdogville, which is now located on the tallest mountain peak, there was a brave and courageous soul called Nelson. Nelson was a Rhodesian Ridgeback who had the shiniest brown fur and the most beautiful brown eyes in all the land. And of course, most importantly, he was the village police dog. Nelson had superpowers. He was tall, powerful, and his tail had the strength of a hammer and could transform into a mace. Nelson had a sidekick called Junior. Junior was the cutest cop and the fastest. He could create sonic waves with how fast he was. Junior liked to wear suits no matter the occasion. His favourite suit was his light grey suit with a cyan collar and a courageous detective smile. The king of New Dogville was called Dogman. He could whisper to dogs and summon them with his bone staff, which could only be used by a special half species of man and dog. Due to propulsions and climate change, water levels were rising and the robot army was taking over the land. One day the robot invaded all the dogs, fought them off, and were victorious. However, King Dogman was captured. So Nelson and Junior knew this was their call to adventure, but everyone in the village thought there was no more hope left in the world. However, Junior and Nelson were not gonna give up that easily. The robots had attacked that day, so they won't attack for another couple of days, as they had lost most of their robots, and the others had returned back to the lab for repairs. The lab was where the mad scientists built and experimented on robots, as the mad scientist wanted to take over the world with robots. However, the robots did not like being under the mad scientist's control. So one day, when the mad scientist came in to the lab for experiments, the robots broke out and the mad scientist's work were no more. So Junior and Nelson set off on their quest. They knew this was going to be tough, but they did it anyway. Whilst they were on the journey, they saw a lot of the world outside their village, so they got on their doggy paddle boat and went across the Horse River. Whilst they were paddling, they spotted the robots going back to their base and followed them. Junior saw there was a whole lot of water. Nelson said this was because the sea levels had risen in the last couple of years, so much that whales had started living closer to the beaches. A whale helped them out by blowing them and the water up high, and they landed just behind the lab. This lab was in a swamp. The robots were very quiet, as something massive was living in the cave behind them, what they did not want to alarm. Junior and Nelson saw the robots were very scared of the monster in the cave. But the bad thing was, when the whale boosted the dogs up, it made a big splat sound and alarmed the beast. When the beast came out, it was no ordinary beast. It was a T-Rex. Apparently, when the scientist was creating robots, they also created dinosaurs. But when they broke out, the dinosaurs did too. So the T-Rex went haywire as he had been asleep for so long time. For so long he was hungry. The T-Rex destroyed the lab. The dogs found Dogman in a cage in the main lab. Nelson destroyed the cage doors with one swoop from his mighty mace tail, and Junior distracted the robots close by with his sonic speed. The T-Rex fought the giant robot, so the two dogs and Dogman ran for their lives, trying to dodge the T-Rex and the horrible giant robot and his army. The T-Rex and the robots fought, so Dogman, Nelson and Junior managed to get away on the boat and sail back to their homes, New Dogville. Everyone was happy, but the robots were not. But they all got vanquished by the jaws of the T-Rex. The T-Rex teeth must have been made as sharp as steel to beat those pesky robots who had through that. The T-Rex would help them save the day. Junior, Nelson and Dogman all laughed. The end.